Okay, thanks for joining us today. This quick start video is on how to install, operate and set up your workplace audiometry program. So on the screen here, the first thing you'll need to do is install the software. It comes on a USB stick, plug it in, run the setup program. If you're using this Audiometric program with a Mako MA25E audiometer, you'll also need to load the driver that comes on the USB stick with that audiometer, and that will allow the data to be transferred from the audiometer direct into this workplace Audiometrics program. So once you've got it all set up, you'll start the program. You'll see this as the main screen. It'll have your company name here instead of demonstration version. There's seven pull-down menus: file, reports, list, statistics, utilities, setup, and help. At any time you're not sure what's going on, go to that help menu and you'll be able to get lots of information about all the different features and functions of this software. But the first thing we're going to do, and also just mention that you can do this in conjunction with the quick start guide that here at Prism Acoustics and Training we've put together. And if you have any queries on the quick start guide, our information's on the bottom, but you can give me a call at any stage or email training@PrisMat, PrisMat.com.au. All right, so let's start. We're going to select our audiometer. So we go to the setup menu, we go to audiometers, and we select the Mako MA25E if that is actually the audiometer that you're going to be using. We're just going to reduce the volume of this here. Okay. You're going to add an audiometer here as well. So let's call it the Mako MA25E. The serial number is 5678 or whatever yours is. The calibration date is, the 1st of the 1st, 2022, whatever your calibration date is. Headset name, we have audio cups generally fitted to the audiometers that we provide, and we're going to save that. So we've got a few audiometers in the list here. We've got a test one here. We can delete that if we no longer use it. So we're going to delete that. And we're going to pick that audiometer we just put in. We'll highlight that, set it as a default. And so when we do a hearing test, that's going to be the audiometer that's going to come up all the time. Of course, we've got to then save that. Right, so let's have a look now. We're going to set up our testers. So these are the people who do the testing instead of having to add their name all the time manually. You can have a list here of all the people and they can just select it from the list. So let's add a person. We're going to call it Peter Tester. All right, approval number we're not doing, and we're going to save that. So we've got Peter Tester here, and if we want to make that the default, we highlight that again, click the default. You'll see the name comes up here, and we're going to exit that, and that name will come up on every test that we do. Right, so then we're going to set up some other details. We're going to set up our test report. So let's flick down here to, let's see, hearing tests. And we're going to set up our company name here. So you enter your name, whatever your name might be. We can't change it because this particular version is a demo version, but as you can see, you insert your company name there, and we'll save that. Okay, you normally wouldn't have that, of course, if you had a live version. Okie dokie. Where else have we got? So printer, you don't need to worry about setting up because it'll use the default printer. We will set up our company details in preferences, company details here, and put your company name here, whatever it is, ABC Clinic, your address, your email, whatever else what country you're in. You've got a few options there. You can choose Australian date format, and you can save that. So because it's a demo version, obviously we can't save it here, but in your version, that will be set up and saved. All right, so we've set up the basic information here. Our audiometer's set up. We've got our audiometer name and serial number in there. We've got the tester names. We've set up the test report, and we've put some company details in there. And so that's basically the basic information that we have to put in to get the audiometry software up and running. So now let's have a look at see what we actually need to do a hearing test. So here we go. We've got somebody in. We've got all their details written down, or we're asking them live. We're going to data entry. If they're not in there already, we're going to go to employee tag, that little tab here, and we're going to add. So we're going to add a new file here. So the test name could be Smith. That would be their last name. That'd be Mary. And what state are they in? Victoria. The gender is female. The date of birth 01/01/1970. Whatever their date of birth is. All the yellow stuff you have to fill out. You can change that in the preferences menu, but that has to be, otherwise the software will alert you when you go to save it that you haven't filled it out. All of this, especially the company name, if you want to add that, you go to a list of companies. If you're just testing for a particular company, you just add their information here, the same as you would for anything else. We call it, A, B, C, D as a company name. We'll save that, and if we do this, we'll set default. So now every time we do a test with that company name, if we go to here, it will come up first. All right. So let's save that. We've saved the employee information. Now we're going to add the test results. We're going to add a new test and click add. All the yellow stuff has to be filled in. You have a look in their ear. See, this is the 2 yearly retest, so data test. Testing due, this is set for 3 months. For the initial test in the setup preferences menu, you can make this 2 years. If you want to change that, you can add it manually. If we want to make it the same as today, we make that 2023, so we can make that 2 years from today. We have a look in their ear. What's their ear look like? Looks normal, or if there's a bit of wax, we just go down the list. Anything we want to record, we can do here. We can add their occupation or whatever. You'll see it also records the time. It automatically puts their age in. It has the default tester and the default audiometer already in here. And if we want to add some more information, protection worn before test, yes or no. Do they usually wear it? Did we give them some information about how to wear it? Yes. And if you want some comments, you can add comments. The hearing is normal, or we recommend, further testing. Any comments you want to add, you can have them pre-formatted in here and just select them. So if we want to put normal test, we just select that, and it's automatically put that text in. Saves you writing it over and over again. So once we want to do the test, we go to capture test. This particular one hasn't been fully set up yet, but we do the testing on the MA25 audiometer. Normally it would come up with capture test. You just click the button when the test is finished, and it'll transfer the information straight over to the software, and you'll see the red and blue lines appear on the screen here. So if we save that, so obviously there's no data there, but if we go to one where there is some data, for instance, as an example here, go to the print menu, and if you want to print something, you just select the print option here, and you can print the audiogram, the CX report, the report card, and analysis. Let's have a look at what they look like. Go to preview. We're going to preview the audiogram. This is what it looks like. Obviously, this is a demonstration, and it has all the information here that was on the audiogram that you've entered. Let's have another look. We'll preview the CX report. A nice, simple layout, which is really good for giving to the person after the test. And there's another layout for this as well now, CX2. Let's have a look at that. Click on here, and it's got a little bit more information. It's got in table form the results here. It's got a second page. You can actually modify a lot of this to personalize it and make it suit what your organisation wants. One more thing here, we'll look at the report card, and it's got all their previous tests listed by date. So if they got 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 tests on file, this is where you'll see them all line by line by line, and you can see if there's any changes occurring. The other thing you can do is all of these reports and have a look at them. Once you set it up, you can see what they all are. The really handy feature here is PDF file. So if we want to save the audiogram as a PDF, for instance, we want to email it to the employer, we'll just save that, and it will go to, it'll ask us where we want to save it to, and from there we can actually email it out. So it's a very handy process. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the audiometer, but that, as far as the software goes, that's basically it. The best thing with this sort of thing is do what I've done here, put up a fake, a test file, have a play with it. It doesn't matter if you mess it up because it's a test file. You can do some tests on your audiometer, transfer it across, print it out, generate some PDFs, change some of the settings in the preferences box, see what they all do, have a look around, go for a bit of a tour, have a look at the help file afterwards as well, and that's the best way to learn how to use software. So thanks for spending a bit of time with us. I hope it's been helpful. Have a look at the quick reference guide, which is produced by Prism Acoustics and Training, or the workplace audiometry guide in the help menu. I hope that's been helpful to you, and we will be also running part 2 of this. This is part 1. Part 2 will be how to use the Mako MA25E audiometer. So thanks for your time, and give us an email or a call if you've got any queries. Our email address is training@prismat, PRISMAT.com.au. Shoot me an email if you need any help. Okay, all the best.